Single-player games are a great way to have fun and de-stressing yourself from the hard-working day. While some of the games might make you work for it, like the Souls-like games, it's nothing compared to stress you get from playing a multiplayer game. So today we'll be looking into 10 of the best single-player games that you can play right now that will make your stressful day into a fun and enjoyable one. Before we get into the list, I have to say making this list was not easy as there are way too many good single-player games, so these are just my top 10. At number 10, we have Horizon Forbidden West, developed by Guerrilla Games. Horizon games are one of the best gaming experiences I have had, and it's mainly because of its beautiful environment and the crazy giant mech creatures. While Zero Dawn planted the idea of this beautiful world, Forbidden West improved upon it in every single department, and we had one of the best single-player games. You play as Aloy, trying to rescue the world you live in. The story continues from Zero Dawn and takes you to new lands with new people and bigger and more dangerous mechs to fight. While the story is better in Zero Dawn, in my opinion, everything else is significantly better in the sequel. The graphics, the mechs, the combat mechanics, and the character designs. They improved upon it a lot, which was a shock to me as those were already pretty decent to begin with. Horizon Forbidden West is a truly amazing game, and the very positive reviews in Steam shows exactly that. If you want a relaxing game with great visuals and crave for something mech related, this is the one for you. At number 9, we have Hogwarts Legacy, developed by Avalanche Software. There have been many Harry Potter games over the years, and none of them left a mark on the industry, well, not like Hogwarts Legacy at least. This game became an instant success, becoming the highest selling game, surpassing even Elden Rings in just a few months. There was more interest because of it being a game based on a very popular series, but the gameplay was no joke. It was a really well-made game with a good story and excellent wizardry combat. While I wanted the game to have Quidditch matches, the things I did get made me want to play this game more and more. Flying on a broom or on top of High Wing is such a great experience. The different quests are also very well made. The one thing I would say is that you can become quite OP very early on in this game, and after acquiring the killing curse, you are basically an unkillable god. But some people love playing like that. I had a lot of fun playing this game and have logged in way too many hours in it. I was shocked that it didn't get any nominations in the Game Awards, given that it became such a big game in such a short amount of time. At number 8, we have Bioshock Infinite, developed by Irrational Games. Bioshock Infinite is one of my favorite games of all time. The story of this game is something else. The reason why it sometimes goes unnoticed is because some of the greater details happen outside of the cutscenes. Like those audio tapes, for example. People don't really sit down and listen to the tapes. They want to explore the floating city and have fun. But those that do find the full story very interesting. Aside from the story, the setting of Columbia is perfect for a Bioshock game. It's weird but fun at the same time. The gameplay is great as well. They have improved the aiming mechanics, which was such a good quality of life improvement. The devs did a great job building out the NPCs and their backstory. They felt like they belonged there and not just some extra item that gets thrown around to progress the story. While people argue that the original Bioshock was a better game in general, I would say that Infinite is an improvement in every single way. Maybe because I didn't play the original until way later and I don't have that feeling of nostalgia that other people might have. At number 7, we have Black Myth Wukong, developed by Game Science. I remember back when its first trailer dropped in 2020 or 2021, people were saying that this is a fake game. The graphics looks way too good for it to be a game and so on. And after 4 years, everyone was proved wrong. Game Science, the company behind this game, made mobile games before, and this was their first commercial console game and they blew it out of the park. The combat was so smooth and crisp, the visuals were next level, and there was an actual story. I thought it would be another Souls-like game when I saw the trailer with some flashy special moves, but after playing it, felt so different. It was fast-paced, non-stop action, and it was tough. Some of the bosses, like the Yellow Long, gave me such a hard time. And the best part is that this is the first of the trilogy, so we will have 2 more games coming out. And if it's the same kind of game as this one, sign me up. I now have high hopes from this company and they better not disappoint. At number 6, we have Resident Evil 4, developed by Capcom. It was so good that the remake was nominated for the Game of the Year for 2023. Now there is a lot of debate about whether this game is good or not. Ones who don't like RE4 will absolutely hate this game, and the ones who don't think that this is the best Resident Evil title. I fall in the second category. With this title, Capcom went a very different route. They brought in more story and action into the game and reduced the amount of horror elements. The combat mechanics were improved, the gameplay was better, and the story was so good. But up until that point, Resident Evil was known for its great horror games, and this move did upset quite a few people. Regardless, the game overall was a banger and people absolutely loved it. Some even blamed RE4 for the failure of RE5 because they could not keep up with the level of storytelling and could not also continue on the route of pure horror. Now, I won't get into all of that, but RE4 is still in my mind the best Resident Evil game, and the remake did it justice as well. And being nominated for Game of the Year just proves how well it stood the test of time. At number 5, we have Ghost of Tsushima, developed by Sucker Punch Studio. Who knew that a good samurai game in a Japanese setting would sell so well? Ghost of Tsushima is what every samurai game was trying to be but couldn't. It's an absolute banger of a game and I loved playing every minute of it. Now, there were some issues with some of the designs that I didn't quite like, which is why it's number 5 on this list. First, it's the repetitive nature of the game. There are way too many tailing missions, and frankly, no tailing mission, be it in this game or in any other game, is good. I don't know why devs like these kinds of missions. Following in the same direction, the stealth mechanics were not that great. It's good and gets the job done, but when some of the missions are insta-failed when you get spotted, the stealth mechanics had to be better. And lastly, there are realistically only 5 different types of enemies throughout the whole game, excluding the bosses: the sword guys, sword and shield guys, bow guys, spear guys, and the big ones. Aside from these complaints, the combat was good, the story was amazing, even some of the side stuff was worth checking out. The graphics were amazing, even the random combat that you encounter while roaming around, when it clicked, worked really well. The one-on-one duel were my favorite parts. Including all of those things, this game was one of the best ones from 2020. At number 4, we have Hollow Knight, developed by Team Cherry. The small and independent team from Australia made one of the most fun and enjoyable games that few of my friends still boot up to this day. Metroidvania games are becoming more popular, and it's mainly because of this title. Before Hollow Knight, there were very few 2D, 2.5D side-scroller platformer games, at least not popular ones. But after 2017, the genre saw a boom and there were so many good ones popping up left, right, and center. In Hollow Knight, you play as a knight, roaming Hallownest, gaining abilities, dashing around, slashing enemies, and slaying bosses on your way to defeat a god or a godlike entity. I love how they crafted this game. The unique art choices they made and the character design all adds up to the charm of this game. While Metroidvania are not known to be the biggest games, the world of Hollow Knight is surprisingly vast, expansive, and open. There are a lot of different paths to take and a lot of different enemies to fight. With many different abilities and powers you get along your journey, it even ticks off the modern requirement for min-maxing builds for many players. All in all, this game is one of the best side-scroller games of recent times. At number 3, we have God of War, developed by Sony's Santa Monica studio. Now I will be talking of both the God of Wars we have from the modern era, the 2018 God of War and 2022 God of War Ragnarok. The studio took a big risk with the 2018 version because they completely changed the genre of the game. The original series was a hack and slash game where Kratos just went around killing every god he could find. The story was not that good and there was no character to our beloved hero. But with the newer release, they completely discarded the previous games, only keeping the lore and the characters. The new games became a much more popular action-adventure game with Kratos and Atreus. The gorgeous setting and the awesome gameplay played a major role in the success of this series. The story and the cinematics was a big part too. The game had such good moments and you can spend hundreds of hours in without even realizing it. While I do think that the story for the first game was better than the second one, the latter title was a more polished game in terms of both gameplay and visuals. The combat was so good that I just wanted to fight everything that comes in front of me. I think God of War is the best modern PlayStation exclusive they released, although it's not really exclusive anymore, but you get my point. At number 2, we have Elden Ring, developed by From Software. Getting nominated for Game of the Year award for a remake is one thing, but getting nominated for a DLC? Now that's something no other games can say. Elden Elden Ring came out in 2022 and it shocked the world. People who didn't even know about the genre started playing it, and it was the perfect title for them too because the difficulty of Elden Ring is what you want it to be. Other Souls-like games are fairly linear, and if you couldn't beat a boss, you would grind out levels by beating the minions or cheesing the boss. But in Elden Ring, the world is open. You can have endgame gear without beating a single boss. This made the game easier for many people. But it was still a game and not many people did that, and I know most of the people wasted hours defeating the Tree Sentinel. I remember when I fought Melania, I bought like snacks for the whole day because I knew she was the toughest boss in the game and I would need many hours to beat her. Now I have a confession to make. I think that this game is the best From Software game for first playthrough, but for me I will rank Bloodborne higher than Elden Ring because I would play that game over and over again, whereas because Elden Ring is so big, I have probably played it 3 times over. But for many people, Elden Ring might be the best Souls game and it rightly deserves this spot on this list. And finally at number 1, we have Red Dead Redemption 2, developed by Rockstar. We can't forget about Red Dead Redemption 2. The story of Arthur and his gang has already become iconic. Right from the start, I became hooked with the game and wanted to play more, ride on my horse and do some crazy stuff. Playing the main mission became a side objective for me. Sometimes I would track a mission only to find something on the side of the road or in the mountains or somewhere else. I would go there and a new event would trigger which would distract me from my main mission. Following that would trigger more missions and so on. I still find YouTube shorts of some interactions and side missions that I didn't find in my playthrough even to this day. But all of this does come at a cost. After some time, and I mean after many days, you can find this game to become a bit stale. The main concern for this game was that it was too long and drawn out. But if that's the main concern for your game, then I think you did a good job, and Rockstar doesn't disappoint. Well, at least they didn't with this game. We will have to wait and see for GTA 6. And those were the best single player games that you can play right now. Let me know in the comments if you disagreed, or which game should have been on this list. I know there are so many games, great games in fact, that I could not put on this list because of the number, but let me know if I should make another one. If you enjoyed, hit the like and subscribe button. YouTube thinks that you might like this video popping up on your screen right now. See you in the next one.